And a big bike battle is brewing in the city in the wake of increased cycling deaths, this time over making helmets required. Joining us now to break down the debate is Dr. Joseph Herrera. He is chairman of the Department of Rehabilitation and Human Performance for the Mount Sinai Health System. You also are a cycling enthusiast yourself.
That's correct, yes.
Great to have you with us here. You're a smart man. Would you ever dream of going out on your bike without your helmet?
Absolutely not.
Why are people doing it?
Well, I think it's because of convenience and the availability of the city bikes and no helmets available at those sites.
You know, we do have some statistics that are pretty sobering that we want to pop up on the screen if we could right now. According to the Insurance Institute for Highway Safety, 54% of bicyclists killed in 2017 were not wearing their helmets. And when you look at the pictures of those bikes, I mean, they're so awful. And to imagine that the human riding it is hurt even worse. What injuries do riders face if they're not wearing a helmet?
Oh boy, severe cognitive deficits, brain injury, death is the ultimate end point here. But you're looking at a lifetime of disability whenever somebody gets injured, especially when not wearing a helmet.
You actually had an example of two cyclists who were injured over the weekend. One was wearing a helmet, one wasn't. What was the result of that?
That's correct. Over the weekend, we admitted two cyclists, one at St. Luke's, one at West, both riding their bikes in quag, and one cyclist was wearing a helmet, did not have any cognitive deficits, only orthopedic injuries. The other one had both.
So we kind of got into this debate last week about wearing helmets. Marsha Kramer asked the mayor if it should be a requirement. Politicians started weighing in. A lot of bicyclists we've spoken with say that requiring helmets will discourage people from riding. What are your thoughts on that?
I don't think that that's the case at all. It's like saying that motorists won't be riding cars because they have to wear seatbelts.
Right.
You know, at the end of the day, helmets save lives. Okay. We know that close to 60 to 80% of fatalities may have been avoided by wearing a helmet alone.
I was covering a story in Central Park about a week or two ago where there were 3 cycling crashes in the span of an hour. One guy wiped out right in front of us. He did not have a helmet. He was okay, fortunately. He came over and he talked, and I said, "Where's your helmet?" And he said, "No, I don't want helmet hair." Now, I told him right then and there what I thought of that.
Yes.
What do you make of that when your fellow cyclists, I mean, some people might call it stupidity. Yeah,
no, agreed. I think that that's unnecessary risk-taking because, again, helmets will prevent any major contusions, subarachnoid bleeds, any of these major injuries that could be life-threatening and life-changing.
The folks you've spoken with in the cycling community who don't wear helmets, what's their reasoning?
Again, I think it's more convenience, and also it's their sense of choice.
Mm-hmm. Finally, do you think bike share companies should be required to make their riders wear helmets, and do you think that we're living in an era where that would happen?
Personally, I think that anybody who uses a bike share should wear a helmet, whether it's the bike share company providing it or another vendor. At the end of the day, you know, we need to be wearing helmets when riding bikes.
So to be continued on the political debate as it stands in New York City, but in the meantime, let's hope common sense prevails. People see these crashes and they start taking their own health into their own hands, wearing a helmet. Dr. Herrera, thank you so much for being with us today.
Thank you for having me.
Stay safe out on those roads. Thank you.
Thank you.
And we did reach out to the North American Bike Share Association for a comment on this. In a statement, they say, quote, "NABSA always encourages riders of bike share to wear helmets. Bike share systems across North America have and continue to encourage and promote helmet usage by providing free or discounted helmets to their users."